Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Last week, we saw Brock Morris dominate in his first race of the season at Watkins Glen. Tonight brings a whole set of different challenges to the table for all of these drivers. Will we see another first-time winner tonight, or does one of the superstars conquer the adversity? We will have to wait and find out. This is the Premier Setup Shop's pre-race show. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Thank you for joining us on Royalty Racing Network. I am Joshua King. We are back for the most unique race on the schedule this season. We are at Bristol Motor Speedway. You're probably thinking, what is so unique about it? Well, dirt has been added to the surface of this iconic speedway for tonight's event, which is the Rusty Piston Racing Jammin' Jalopies 125. Now, some of the guys have some dirt experience, but most of them are primarily asphalt oval racers. Combine that with a very tricky track in itself, add dirt on top of it, and I feel like we're going to have a lot of damaged jalopies out there by the end of this thing. Fitting for the title of the race. I want to hear your picks for the winner in chat, but right now we're going to get a word with the number 37 of Jake Raven, and then we're going to get with the 4 of Jeremy Gill out of Mid-Tier Racing. Let's take a brief look at our track info for this evening. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 51% humidity, clear, and low winds. Winds probably won't come into play whatsoever on this small track. 63-degree track temp. That's very, very cool. That's because the dirt. We're going to see this dirt develop throughout the practice session into qualifying, and then even more so in the race. We're going to see if we can get some green flag runs in, but very challenging track and conditions out there this evening. I do see that Jeremy Gill is with us, so we're going to go to that 4-car Jeremy Gill here and get with him, talk with him a little bit about his experience last night in the Hold Your Brakes Academy, and then we're going to talk to him about what's going on this evening, how he's feeling about it. Jeremy, Joshua up in the booth, you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, buddy, I sure do.
Right on, man. Thanks for joining us. Wanted to get you in here, talk about last night, give you a proper interview, if you know what I mean. But I'd like to shout out to everybody live on stream here. Jeremy absolutely dominated the Hold Your Brakes Academy race last night at Auto Club Speedway. Jeremy, you had it locked in, man. Tell us about just what you had figured out last night that no one else did.
Can't give my secrets away, man. No, I'm joking. I love that track. That's about the only thing that I had figured out that they didn't. But realistically, everybody was running the high line there. That's not where you run at Auto Club. You run it around the grip strip, around the bottoms, and it really puts it on the right rear and saves the right front. So that's what I was doing different from almost everybody.
Right on, man. Well, you won it in dominating fashion and would have been over a 10 or 15 second lead should we have not have had that late caution to bring us all back together. But hey, I mean, it was working for you and you were crushing all around, so that's pretty cool. Let's move in now to tonight. You're having a heck of a season so far in top tier racing this year. Or this season rather. You're sitting 7th in points. Talk to us about how you're feeling about that 4-car tonight on the Bristol dirt track.
I'm just being honest. I don't know how I feel about tonight. I'm really terrified, to just being completely transparent. I'm not a dirt guy, so I have no clue what I'm doing. The only focus tonight is surviving the mayhem and trying to finish somewhere in the top 10. So that's where I'm at.
That's fair. I would have to believe a lot of your competitors have a similar thought and feeling. I went over it just briefly here before we got with you, how most of you guys are primarily asphalt oval competitors, so it's going to be a survival. Kelly Akron in chat says it perfect. Whoever the last car running may be the winner tonight, so we'll definitely see how that plays out. But I got to believe he's probably not too far from accurate there. But Jeremy, before we let you get back to go to work here in that Ford Mustang, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight before we let you get back to it?
Yeah, like usual, my teammates for always sticking by me and for sticking together. And then Sisk Speed Shop for all the help behind the scenes. He really puts on a heck of a program over there, and it shows. So it's been awesome.
Heck yeah, man. Keep crushing it. Your Mondays and Tuesdays looking awfully good right now. So we'll let you get back to it, sir, and best of luck. Maybe we'll be talking to you at some point during the race or after the race.
All righty, buddy. Well, you have a good broadcast, you hear?
Appreciate that, man. Once again, folks, that was the Ford of Jeremy Gill out of Mid-Tier Racing in that Snap-on Tools Ford Mustang you see on screen. Brief note here, very, very cool to see the success that Jeremy is having. And then I don't talk much about myself in these broadcasts, but I won last week in the Hold Your Brakes Academy race. Finished second to Mr. Gill last night. And really, really cool to see where we've come together, because I started with Jeremy in the very first league that we raced, and it was a combination of these guys and a lot of others in the Lucky Dog Racing League, and we would always battle it out for probably 3/4 back of the pack to all the way in the back of the pack. And then first season of Top Tier Racing, I was in the car, and we battled it out for top 10s and both made playoffs, and now we're battling it out at the front of fields for wins and playoffs and all those things. So it's really, really cool to see the progression along the way of your friends and good guys. Jeremy's one of the true good sports in the iRacing community and in the sport of racing itself. So really, really cool. But let's get with another fan favorite here. He's always a fan favorite and a good guy himself. That's Jake Raven in the 37 out of Cleveland, Ohio. Coco eMotorsports driver. We're going to talk with him now. We can find him. Yeah, there he is, right at the top here. Jake, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
I got a copy.
Oh, man, we're hearing the thunder on entry here. It's quite the entrance. All right. Jake, I brought you in here tonight for a couple reasons. One of them being that you're sitting 13th in points. You're just right on that outside edge of getting into that chase. Tell us what a strong performance tonight here at Bristol Dirt would do for that 37 team and also Cuckoo Motorsports.
Yeah, I did notice that I was right on the stretch there. Let me pull it over real quick. I did notice that I was right on the cut line, so I know tonight is pretty important to finish good, to get on the upper hand of that cut line. I feel like from the beginning of the season, I have came up from the ranks quite a bit, just hoping that the people in the back are able to keep it in line so they don't get in the way of the people who are trying to run in front.
Okay, fair enough. Of course, this season we have seen our fair share of issues in the front as well. So you throw in the wild card that it's dirt, and who really knows what may happen. But I also wanted to bring in, because I know you're one of the guys out of this 26-car field this evening, which is going to be absolute mayhem, that has a little more experience on dirt, right? And I know we've raced here at Bristol Dirt before. You're very confident in it. You're very strong. What's your overall comfortability coming in, and how do you feel, what do you feel your chances are, I should say, to go out there and get a win tonight?
I feel they're pretty good as long as I can qualify good. I think if I don't qualify good, then you're going to lose so much time trying to get around other people. It's going to make it difficult unless there are a plethora of cautions. I was running really good in the off, I guess the pre-race practice that was set up, hitting high 17 sevens. So I'm right up there with Michael and Dylan. It's just there's been a lot of traffic, so it's been hard to get some good lines in practice today.
Sure. And I think we'll let you get back to work here shortly. One more question for you, Jake. I just mentioned the 26-car field that we're scheduled to have here tonight. How do you think that's going to play a factor if we do get a long green flag run? Very small, short track, then you mix in probably a struggle for a lot of these guys tonight, and then the largest field that we've probably seen all season. How do you feel that's going to come into play when those leaders approach them?
I think it's going to be fun for you to broadcast, because I think there's going to be so much happening. There's not going to be a dull moment. Like you said, because the field's so big and the track's so short, I really think it's not going to take long for the front to catch up to the rear, and then there's going to be that intermingling happening right off the bat. I'm going to go off on a limb and say within the first 20 laps.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take a long time if we do happen to have a green flag run. One thing I've mentioned earlier in this pre-race show is how it's not ideal when it comes to avoiding any sort of caution, right? There's no infield really. So basically any incident at Bristol typically brings out a caution for the most part. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays, and then you add in dirt to the mix, and going to be a wild one for sure, man. But wanted to say you're probably my pick, so no pressure, but go out there and get a win tonight. Get yourself in a little bit more comfortable spot going into that chase, sir.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'm going to do my best, and hopefully I'll see you at the podium.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll be talking to you after the race. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once again, folks, that was the driver of the number 37, Jake Raven, out of Cleveland, Ohio, in that Chevy Camaro Liquid Death 37. Always a nice-looking paint job on that thing. Here, let's go to the top of the board. That's the 74, Michael Weissman in the PGHA Designs Chevy Camaro. Love this paint. That purple and black looks really, really nice. Good to see Mr. Weissman out there with us tonight. He's currently first quick. Let's bring up our timing tower so you can see exactly what I'm talking about as I take you through the practice field here. Dylan Canova, always fast no matter where we go. He's in a purple and black ride. Also, no connection there between Weissman and Canova. He's second quick. Here's last week's winner. We're taking a far look at him. Kind of blinking right now, and he's in that red, white, and blue ride right in front of the other red, white, and blue ride. He completely blinked out. We'll move on. Here's Nick Baum. He's in the number 1 Royalty Racing Network, Royalty Motorsports neon green and white Chevy Camaro. Good to have Nick Baum on board. And back with us tonight after Watkins Glen. Man, he was having such a good run last week and found himself in early trouble as the battle uphill from there. Let's go to 22, J.D. Van Kirk. New paint for the 22 on that Chevy Camaro there as he fights it left and right. Around the corners, we're going to see a lot of experienced guys be doing that. JD is very good at the oval, primarily though a road course racer, so now you put a dirt oval on the schedule and throws him off even more potentially, but he's currently sitting 5th quick, so he's figured something out. Take a look at some more guys on track. That 13 of Christian Proctor looks awfully good. We're going to have to take a closer look at that if he comes out on the speedway, which he will at some point. We're going to go here to the 37 of Jake Raven, currently 9th quick. Just spoke to him here in the pre-race show. So he's doing good so far, 9th quick. Here's Davis Shively. He's 8th quick as he comes out on track in the Coors Ford Mustang 85. 8th quick for Shively. Here's Nick Raffini in the 03 revved up racing Ford Mustang. That's his standard paint. We get to know him pretty well by this time. Sometimes these drivers decide to change up their paint week to week. Makes it a little challenging. Very cool to see new paints all the time, but challenging at times. Here's Jeremy Gill, and 12th quick, and we're already done with practice, folks. We made it through about half the field, just about 26 cars scheduled to grid. We'll see if we get all 26 of them. Everyone making it a point to come out here for Bristol Dirt. Talked to a couple guys, and they weren't quite sure if they were going to get a smaller field or not. There's Christian Proctor in the 13. Marty says he's got a bunch of faces on his paint. Yes, he does. A lot of them on there. Is that me on the front? Let's look at that. Oh, man. Come on. That is me right there, front and center. Oh, man, along with everybody else. Woo-hoo. Oh, Christian, I love it, man. Oh, that's hilarious. We're going to have to talk to Christian just purely based off that. That's awesome. Christian Proctor, first to set a lap time. He's currently 1st quick, 18.67. That gives you a sign of where he'll need to be or where these guys will need to be. Timothy Presley, 1st quick, now quickly beat out by Weissman. Oh, save it. Presley will call it after 1 lap. He's currently 3rd quick, 18.56. Michael Weissman, lap 1, 18.28. Qualifying is going to go by in a hurry here, folks. Brock Morris to 2nd quick. Nick Baum, 2nd quick, 18.30 in that 1 car. Right behind Weissman. Latham Joyner, 5th quick, 18.59. Brock Morris takes over the pole from Weissman, 18.26. Man, this guy came all the way through the field last week due to a rough qualifying effort. Imagine what he can do now starting on the pole. Jake Raven is still out there, looking to improve on his 18.47. Currently sits 6th quick. He jumps to 4th quick, 18.37 on lap 2 for Raven. Dylan Canova, 18.41 on lap 1. He sits 5th quick. He's going to come around turn 4. See what he can do on lap 2. And improves 1 spot. He takes the 5 spot away from Raven. 18.31 for Canova. And all the way through the field, basically everyone qualified at the exact same time. We'll have the starting grid for you here momentarily. I wonder if someone listening into the broadcast will maybe request an extra lap to get through this large 26 car field, because by the time they give us the grid, they're already gridding. And it's a short one. They'll do 2 laps, but 26-car field, that's going to take a minute. And I don't want to be late to the start. Talk about amateur hour, and you miss the start of the race, you might as well just pack it in for the rest of it. Just kidding. That's slightly dramatic, but we're not going to do that. We didn't have a kerfuffle like we had last week, so we're already off to a better start here on this fine Tuesday evening. For anyone that may be in the Kansas area or state, rather large state, I say area like it's small, or Oklahoma, best wishes to you guys. Stay safe out there. I got someone special on my mind that I'm thinking about this evening with poor weather expected there. Now, Jeff, you underestimate my abilities, sir. We're gonna get that grid right up on the screen right as we have it available and start just knocking them out, you know, going down that list. Let's go. We do need, there's one thing we need to do here. I can see potentially. Well, I suppose well, whatever. Maybe it'll happen in the race. I was trying to make sure our timing tower there on your left side is going to be split. But in theory, it should be automatic. Now, you saw that checkered flag wave. That means that the qualifying session has officially ended. See if we can't get a look at anyone we haven't seen yet on track in the warm-up sesh. Here's Marty White in that red, white, and blue 69. That looks really nice. Really nice paint for Marty White there. Christian Proctor we saw. Rob Higgs Jr. still rocking with the Marines 14 paint. Like that one. We saw it last week at Watkins Glen for Military Appreciation Night. Who haven't we seen who's on track? Here's Robbie Miner in the 53. Looking for somebody. We saw Presley showing the 72. He's got the 30 on the side of the car. That won't be too hard. We've called enough of his races. Here's 77 of Zach White up into the wall, riding it around the whole corner there. You're going to see a lot of that tonight, I think, from a lot of drivers. There's a 00 of Jarrett Martin. Whoo, man, that Tennessee Volunteers paint on the 00 this week. That looks really nice. Sweet baby Jesus, please forgive us for what we're about to do. Shane Wielden says in the chat. Sweet baby Jesus. Your little major and whatever he says. Cotton diaper. Can't remember the rest of the quote. You knew where I was going. Let's see. Who else? Here's Davis Shipley. We looked at him. Here's Nick Boyd, new to the series this week. He's racing with Royalty Motorsports Black in that turquoise and white Chevy Camaro. I like that one, man. That's a good looking ride there. Trying to read what it says on the side, but not having much luck. Everyone else that's out on the speedway for the warm-up session, we have seen at this moment. Here we go. 18 M&M's Toyota Camry of Patrick Gentner is with us as well. First race for him this season. He's also with Royalty Black. Derek says we're going to die. We're not going to mention who these guys in chat are affiliated with. They're not very confident. Gotta believe, guys. Gotta believe. Just kidding. If I was in this race, I wouldn't believe either. Who else is out there? There's Jim Thorndike. We've seen his car in the back of our camera shots a couple times. We'll take a look at other ones, but same red, white, and blue paint for Thorndike, and checkered flag waves now on the warm-up session, which means the drivers' meeting and discussion is concluded. And here's your starting grid. Starting on pole is the 05 of Brock Morris. Michael Weissman in the 74 starts second. Nick Baum in the 1 car will roll off third. Dylan Canova in the 70 will start fourth. Jake Raven in the 37, who we talked to in the pre-race show, will start fifth. Christian Proctor in the 13 will roll off sixth. Latham Joyner in the 3 will roll off seventh. That's his worst starting position of the season thus far. The 72 of Timothy Presley will start 8th. Davis Shively in the 85 will start 9th. Jeremy Gill in the 4, who we also talked to in the pre-race show, will round out your top 10. Nick Boyd in the 5 will start 11th. Rob Higgs Jr. will start 12th. Onward we go. 13th will be Drafty Beef in that 2 car. Jarrett Martin in the 00 will start 14th. Jacob Wilson in the 51 will start 15th. And J.D. Van Kirk to his outside in the 22 starting 16th. Shane Wheeldon in the 83 17th. Marty White besides him in the 69 rolling off 18th. Derek Catt in the 39 will start 19th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. in the 44 will round out your top 20. Robbie Miner in the 53 will start 21st. Patrick Gentner will start 22nd in that 18. Dan Ames in the 55 starting 23rd. Nick Raffini in the 03 will start 24th. And rounding out your field, Jim Thorndike in the 59 will start 25th. And starting shotgun on the field tonight will be the 77 of Zach White in 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting grid. And let's get to it now as we get ready to go green here in the Jammin' Jalopies 125 from Bristol Dirt. Brought to you right here on Royalty Racing Network. Jeff, what'd you think about that, buddy? We got her done and we didn't even need an extra lap. Now that pace truck pulls off down pit road and we're green for the first time tonight at Bristol. Already 3 wide, just briefly for a second as they stay side by side. Brock Morris pulls out in front of Weissman. Weissman cuts it underneath him. And already a caution. See if we can't find where it is. All sorts of red on the screen mixed in with the green and yellow. It looks like Christmas here. On my side, let's see if this is a good starting point. We're taking a look here at Timothy Presley. We got Raven maybe involved. Not sure. I saw Presley was involved in an accident, but it looks pretty good right now. Oh, yep, he got loose. Oh, there's already a wreck. Oh, Nick Baum was in the wall, and that left a whole bunch of guys with nowhere to go. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Nick Baum. This will be the second race in a row where Nick Baum has had a great starting position, and now already going to have a lot of work to do. Patrick Gentner looks like he was involved. Presley Of course, we saw him hard contact into the 1. Jeremy Gill involved. See where Gentner gets involved here. Shane Wielden makes it by. Oh, there's the 18 of Gentner there on the inside with the 55 of Ames. It's like they were attempting to make it by low and then just kind of got stacked up a little bit. But we'll go live here. And Peter, yes. One of my favorite movies, man. We could sit here and quote that movie all night long. Jeff, appreciate it, man. And appreciate you being here. Well, folks, we're under caution already. A mere 1 lap in, if we even made it that far. And unfortunately, I feel like we might be seeing a lot of that this evening. Hopefully not. Maybe they'll get spread out and we'll get some green flag racing going. But Jim Thorndike was down pit road. Nick Baum still down pit road. Patrick Gentner, Timothy Presley, Jeremy Gill. Those 3, well, Presley's out. The other 3 I mentioned still down pit road. Now, no reason for them to just throw in the towel, being that it's lap 5 of 100 for sure. And also being that if my prediction is correct, we will have a lot of cautions. A lot of people will get their laps back should they avoid it. And we're under green once again for the 2nd time already. The 05 of Brock Morris jumps out there 2 wide behind him. The 70 of Canova is on the inside of Michael Weissman. They keep it all clean and green for now. Weissman way up against the wall. The Canova electing to do the opposite. He clears Weissman now. Single file back to these guys. Now Proctor's on the outside of Weissman temporarily. He battles back on the outside. Weissman struggling here early. On the inside, can Proctor do anything with it? Oh, keep it out of the wall. He finds the wall. He's riding it now. It's going to allow Joyner to get beside him. Keeps it off the wall that time. Good run off exit there for the 13. Joyner throws her in. Nearly 3 wide. Raven thought better of it though. Now the 13 of Proctor makes contact with the 3. Now the 3 gives Joyner back the contact. Have to say that was probably well deserved after Joyner was just throwing her in. Proctor holds off Joyner for now. Raven running by himself there. Here's side-by-side action. The 2 and the 5 temporarily. Good driving there by the 2 to keep it out of the 5 of Nick Boyd. His first race, he's already up 4 for Royalty Black. Here's Davis Shively. He's running smooth. Drafty Beef on the high side doing a good job. He's up 4. And boy, you won't believe it here, folks. We got ourselves a nice little green flag run going. Let's find some racing. Christian Proctor and Latham Joyner battling hard again. We're going to see them trade paint all night long here. They keep it clean this time. Whoa, look out. Proctor, good job keeping it out of the wall there. Joyner gets the pass done. That's for 4th. Proctor going to battle back. No chance at a slide job, though. That runoff exit just too strong. We'll talk about what a slide job is momentarily under yellow conditions if we get an opportunity. Here's the 85 of Shively looking potentially inside of the 5. Is he going to have enough? He's keeping the car nice and straight. No, sir. That battle or that runoff exit just too strong on that top side. Now Drafty Beef looks to his outside. He taps the wall. Still keeps the momentum, though. If he can keep it off the wall this time, he'll get past the 85, I believe. He will. Look at that. Good move. Here's Marty White, Jacob Wilson. Marty White's rolling that top side. He's got it figured out nice. Marty White is absolutely cooking. He's up 7 spots into 11th, and he'll set his sights now on Rob Higgs. Clears the 51 of Wilson. So many guys that are up spots, I'm confused at who's down spots. Basically, those back guys. Patrick Gentner on pit road still. Jeremy Gill on pit road still, unfortunately. Find you some good racing here. This is a good one. Jake Raven, that is, pressuring the 13 of Christian Proctor now, who may be struggling just a bit with the heavy damage from all the wall bumps. Dan Ames has just crashed. You saw him slow there on the inside, but he's kept it straight, which is a good thing. Proctor's up in the wall again. Here's a cluster. Drafty Beef able to get around the 55 of Ames. Now the 5 of Boyd will look to go by, and he'll make it by Ames. Good driving by all these guys to get around Ames, who is now your first car a lap down. I believe Derek Catt sitting 19th, right where he started. Actually, I'm sorry. They're all the way up to Thorndike. Thorndike is the first car a lap down in 17th now. So the longer this race stays green, the harder it will be for some of these guys to get laps back. But you never give up. You got to go out there and get every point you can. Shane Wheeldon now, last car on the lead lap. Woo! And Shane Wheeldon, I bet, is just breathe a sigh of relief there. Is now, he'll be the last car in the lead lap there. Jorge Ledesma Jr. right here in the 44 will get his lap back. He was just passed by Canova and Brock Morris. There's Canova. You can see just how close they are. Todd, we got eyes on Raven, buddy. We talked to him in the pre-race show. Gonna have to go back and watch that if you missed it. He's my pick for tonight. And I'm not giving that up, but we got a caution on the speedway, and it looks like Marty White. Well, I'm sorry. No, we're going to go back to Jim Thorndike. Looks like the one that brought out our caution. There he is there in the red, white, and blue 59. Ooh, right by the leaders, too. Scary for the 05. Don't see anything caution-worthy yet. Oh, the 74 just tagged him. And he got into the wall, and car kind of caught that wall up. Got caught up with the wall, I should say. I do know how to speak English. See what happened here. Marty White, it says, crashed as well. Not sure if he got tangled with the 59 later. Oh, he just came around and had to lock up. So he didn't really crash there. All right. Not too bad. Let's get back to the live action here. As Dylan Canova leads the way, lap 26 of 100. If we get some green flags like that one, folks, this one is going to cruise on by. He's my stepson. Right on, man. Glad to have you in here supporting him. Jake is one of the really good dudes in this series and on the sim, in the sport, however you want to say it. mixing up in the lineup, they say, so they're trying to get them racked up and stacked up the right way this time. We're going to see this track develop, folks, throughout the night, much like an asphalt track, but it's going to be more noticeable. You can already see the shine on the main line where these cars are running a lot, especially on that low side. It's getting really dark, but you'll also start to see it shine in those lights. And that's going to make it very, very loose. It's going to make it fast, but going to be hard to hold it there. And you can see that shine perfectly there on your screen. Exactly what I'm talking about. And so it's going to be interesting to see this track develop in different ways than an asphalt track develops over the course of a race, as far as heat and rubber being laid down, those types of things. We'll also see what they call the cushion, that heavy line of dirt up there around the top. We'll see that develop and get even higher. That's where there's a lot of speed. And Canova takes us back green again, as the 05 didn't appear to have as great a start as maybe you would have liked. He's under pressure from that 74 now. This for the 2-spot, 74, slide job. The 05 will cross him back under. Good move from Brock Morris in that 05. Perfect slide job from Weissman, but perfect anticipation by the 05 of Morris, who's now under fire by Latham Joyner in the 03, or in the 3. 03's Nick Raffini. Get my numbers all mixed up. 74's in the wall. Keeps momentum slightly. The 3 right to his back bumper. Just kissing the wall as they go around. And looks like Robbie Minor got the free pass this last time around. Not sure what happened with Jorge Ledesma Jr. Why he didn't get the pass, but nevertheless, Robbie Minor, last car being scored on the lead lap. Oh man, Proctor's squeezing the 2, but the 2 taking the chance, and he'll back out of it. Proctor's on the inside of Raven. The 2 had nowhere to go, and the 13 is down below the speedway. Not going to be good for Proctor. He's not going to get a caution here, as now he's back to 13th. Drafty Beef, he had nowhere to go. The 13 came right up in front of him. Did the best he could. J.D. Van Kirk battling here with the 00. Jarrett Martin slightly. This is for the 11th spot. Both of these guys having themselves a good run so far. Martin's up 3. J.D.'s up 4 at the moment. And close battle here. Your closest one is right here. Michael Weissman, Brock Morris, closely trailed by the 37, a Raven, who's made his way back up into the top 5. He started 5th. He sits there now. Brock Morris may be struggling with the development of the track slightly, whereas Weissman has started to figure it out a little bit more now. Joyner and Canova still lead. No shock there. Davis Shively is getting passed right now by Jacob Wilson. Oh, and Wilson gets turned by Shively. Wilson slid up in front of him and didn't bother to lay off the gas. It didn't appear, but I'm getting my notes here say that Proctor went around and brought out the caution, not what we just watched live. So that's interesting. Let's see here. There's Proctor. Oh, and then he tries to save it, jerks it around, and that must have been right before the incident. Nice driving, though, by everyone around Christian and Christian himself to keep it from getting anyone else involved. Let's go back live here. Nick Boyd in the pits. Taking tires. Interesting move by Boyd. See if he goes a lap down here. Now Jorge Ledesma in that 44 gets the free pass. So not quite sure what happened there, but some of these guys lucking out, and we're starting to get a few more guys back on the lead lap. Presley, Cat, Ames all one lap down. So they'll hope for a couple more cautions. Biggest movers of the night, they're right next to each other. It's the two of Drafty Beef and the 51 of Jacob Wilson. Although shared 7 spots up with Drafty Beef is this guy, the 53 of Robbie Minor. Currently sits 14th. And Boyd, with the pit stop, he did come out on the lead lap. So that's a good thing for the 5 of Boyd. Is the lights on the pace truck are already out, so we'll get ready to go green here once again. Nearly halfway through already. This one's breezing by. Hasn't been as much of a caution fest as I assumed. Not that I doubt these drivers, folks, but I doubt the track. And Dylan Canova, Latham Joyner still lead the way as we go back green here. They've avoided all trouble, and it's not any different to see them running out front. So they go single file, and Drafty Beef has the 51 of Jacob Wilson on the inside, who's cruising right now. He gets past Beef, and now he'll look to the inside of Raven. Not going to have enough momentum, though. Raven will have that good drive off exit. But he's committed to that low line. He's got something figured out down there. He's up 9 spots now. Oh, as I see trouble in the back, Shively. They get it going back straight, though, before the caution comes out. So no caution there. Here's the 83 of Wielden. Looks like he was, oh gosh, Timothy Presley. Hard contact with the wall. This isn't for position. We'll find you something for position. Here we go. 51 and the 37 still battling. 51 is awfully quick on that low side, as we now see what I was mentioning. That cushion is pushing up on that top side, and the bottom is becoming faster as long as you can consistently run it. You don't have as good of an exit, but a lot more consistent corners here for the 51 of Wilson. He's up 10. He just made his way into the top 5 by passing the 37 of Raven. Brock Morris down 3, but he's on the outside corner panel of Weissman, and now Weissman slides up, and they both get into it. The 05 finds the wall. This battle here is allowing the 51 of Wilson to close. Weissman basically rode the wall around the whole way. They're nearly 3 wide into the corner. Look out. Weissman still finding that wall. The 51 of Wilson wants him to stay up high. He can keep running low while he battles. The 37 works his way back in to the fray here. Good battling. Brock Morris, oh, he turns around. Into the inside wall. He keeps it going, though. Raven by him. Wilson had to avoid. Raven got the old 2-for-1 move job. Raven's up in the fourth. Now we'll see if Wilson can lock back in on that low line. Weissman lucked out. He moves into third. And caution is out. Nick Raffini, I see, has caused or has been involved in an incident. Here's Raffini. We see Rob Higgs down on the apron. No incident there with the 03. It's like the 03 trying to do what Wilson was doing. Didn't work out with quite the same success, and no one else involved. So good to see, the cautions that we have had. Not a lot of carnage, if you will, with multiple drivers, sometimes 5-6 drivers involved here at this small speedway. Everything's been on the lower end, or kind of with just one or two guys, so not too bad. I like it. Like what I'm seeing from these guys out here tonight. We got a couple guys down pit road. Brock Morris, Christian Proctor, Timothy Presley going to get the free pass. We're going to take this opportunity while they rack them and stack them back up to go green. Just about halfway through, we're going to hear from our sponsors. Stay with us. We're going to be picture-in-picture in this Royalty Racing Network commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Good to hear from our friends at SM Racing Products. Check them out now at sm-racingproducts.com. Don't forget to use promo code royalty at checkout for 20% off of your purchase of $150 or more. It's a great deal and great products made with love. Getting ready to go green here once again. As I mentioned, we're just over halfway. Is the 3 and the 70 maybe hashing out some issues here, rubbing against each other. And they go green, and the 70 has a really nice jump. They're already single file back to top 6. Drafty Beef being pressured by that 5-car Nick Boyd, who did take tires, not this last caution, but the caution before. Looks to have paid off so far. He's back up 6th place now, is Boyd. J.D. Van Kirk finds himself in the top 10 now. Jacob Wilson got around Boyd and Drafty Beef. Now he sets his sights on the 74 and the 37. They're 3 wide off exit of the corner. 37 or 74 blinks. Another caution.
Quickly tell me what you think you had there.
Cautions breed cautions, folks. Finally some dirt racing on Royalty Racing Network. I know it's NASCAR, I know. Dirt racing right here on the one and only Royalty Racing Network. And if I do say so myself, we're doing a hell of a job. Welcome in, Tony. Good to see you. Let's take a look at what happened to Rob Higgs Jr. There he is in that Marines 14. No incident yet. What happened here? Oh, it looks like he tries to get out of the way and then couldn't go high, couldn't go low, had cars either way. But the 05 ran into him and spun him around as the 14 spins them tires and tries to get it back going. What happened here? Nick Boyd crashed. Doubtful. Hard to say if all this, crashing is always accurate, because on a dirt track and they're in NASCARs, it kind of confuses iRacing a little bit. Marty White being showed as crashing as well, and now he was down pit road. I don't know. Well, back to it though. Now it says Davis Shively is crashed. He's still in the same spot. I don't trust it. We're going to roll with it. Whenever I see a caution come out, we'll look at those. Everything else is probably minor to nothing. But Derek Catt, your free pass recipient in the Budweiser 39 Ford Mustang. Sure, he's excited about that. Get back on the lead lap. This first initial run here was about 35 laps. Put a whole bunch of cars at least a lap down. And now we're down to just 2 that are 1 lap down. That's the 55 of Dan Ames. He'll be next on the list for the free pass should the 05 of Morris stay where he's at currently. But Morris, I bet you, he's going to be wanting to get back up front. Started up front, but Dylan Canova leads the way as he has basically the whole race. Good jump. The 3 did not have a good jump. That's going to allow the 37 of Raven to look to his inside. Whole group of guys here looking for these spots. Raven trying to battle on that inside. 03 trying to keep it out of the wall. 74 doing the same behind him. Unsuccessful this lap, but still good drive off the exit. If you only kiss the wall, it's not that bad. It's when you really smack it that you got problems. Jake Raven moves up into 4th, and yet another caution here. Jarrett Martin being shown. See what this is. Jarrett Martin in that Tennessee Vols 00 there in the middle of your screen. All good right now. Oh, Proctor just throws her in there and then decides to finish him off. I didn't spin you completely the first time. We'll make sure I do the second time, apparently. But, all right then. Back to yellow flag as we're on lap 67 of 100. This one's still cruising. We're going to get done early here tonight, folks. Whether it be under caution or not. Jake Raven up 1 now. He's worked awfully hard to get back to where he was and get up 1 spot. Jacob Wilson right behind him, that 51, your biggest mover right now. He's up 10. He's cooking. Followed by the 9, or the 44, who's up 9, I should say. That's Jorge Ledesma Jr., currently sitting 11th. He got his lap back after early problems. Now he's managed to stay out of trouble and get some consistency going. Got that 44 running 9th. Robbie Minor up 8, having himself a strong night. Afraid to put the jinx on any of these guys. Shane Wielden in that Slowick Stuff 83 Toyota Camry up 5. Derek Cat, he got his lap back last caution. He's up 5. And Latham Joyner, he started 7th. He's up 5. So a bunch of guys up 5 right now. A couple guys down a lot. A lot more than 5. Nick Baum, Rob Higgs Jr., Jeremy Gill, Brock Morris, all not having the best of evenings at Bristol Dirt, and unfortunately a lot of those guys were involved early in issues. Back to green we go once again after working our 6th caution on the evening. Let's see if we can get a good green flag run going. Latham Joyner peeks the inside of the 70 of Dylan Canova. We could have a new leader here for the first time since early in the going. Joyner slide job up in front of the 70 of Canova. Canova's going to cut it back down. These guys better be careful. They got stiff competition behind them, and now they all 3 go high, and Jacob Wilson will take that. They're nearly 3 wide. Latham Joyner slide job, 74 slide job on the 70. He'll take over 2nd for now. Jake Raven happy to see what's going on in front of him. Beating and banging and slamming the wall every time. 70 takes back over the lead. Joyner, man, he just slams into him. 74 going to peek to the inside now of Joyner for the lead. They're all 3 in the wall. Holy moly. Joyner back to the lead. These guys better watch out. Oh, Canova heavy into the wall, and he's faced in the wrong direction is Canova. Holy moly. That was whack and wild stuff. Up front, we don't even need to watch it back. Saw exactly what happened to Canova. Woo! We got 25 laps to go, folks. If that's any sign of how it's going to be, we will watch it back just because it was insane. Holy smokes, the 70. Oh, he tried to save it, and right in between the 74 and the 3, and then the 74 had nowhere to go. I mean, he went right into him. But nowhere to go for Michael Weissman. See if the damage impacts him or not. Canova is down pit road. See if he can stay on the lead lap. See if he's down there long term or not. Gonna have to see. But man, they were putting on quite a show. It's basically good representation of a demolition derby at your local county fair on a Saturday night. But back and forth they went. Canova off pit road, but a lap down. But he'll be scored as the first guy a lap down, I believe. Yeah, Thorndike is down pit road, and he's 2 laps down. So Canova will be all by himself a lap down for now. Dan Ames got the free pass. That makes 17 guys now on the lead lap. We're slowly but surely getting more. Going to leave Latham Joyner and Michael Weissman on the front row. Weissman started 2nd. That's where he'll begin this restart here. Little damage on the front end of the 74. You could see. Take a look at, not that guy, Weissman here. You can see it's caved in just a little bit, but see it if it impacts him. Jacob Wilson now up to third as you see him there in that 51. And we're back green, and Joyner leads the way this time as Weissman's in the wall. What the heck is going on with Michael Weissman? Holy smokes, I couldn't believe what I just saw there. It's like he caught the wall and his front bumper just got stuck or something. Let's go back and take a look at that one. That was bizarre, wasn't it? Here we go. Let's watch what happened to Weissman on the restart. There he is. He's up against the wall, and then it's just like his car wouldn't get off the wall. Man, is that just extremely bizarre. Keeping it here to make sure the whole field cleared him clean on their way by. And as I mentioned, that's quickly going to give Canova the free pass. He'll get back on the lead lap, and we'll have to see how he makes his way up through the field. Interesting for sure. Back to live action here as we go back with Latham Joyner, who will lead the way, and that's going to put Jacob Wilson in that 51, starting on the outside, and probably a place that he's not going to be super comfortable with. He's been running that lower line. It's looked like he's way more comfortable there, and very fast, I will say. Not quite sure how he'll react. Nick Boyd is up in the third spot now. Christian Proctor is in the fourth spot. Good battle back from Proctor to avoid all the incidents. Like I mentioned, we've had a lot of cautions, but not a lot of like big ones, if you will. You know, one car here up into fifth, having himself a good run now. Presley having himself a good run. He's in sixth. Drafty Beef is seventh. Jorge Ledesma up to eighth. Jarrett Martin ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is that 22 of J.D. Van Kirk. 53 of Robbie Miner now is up 10. He's 11th. Shane Wheeldon up 5th. Or up 5. He's into 12th. And Derek Cap, Brock Morris flirting with the top 10. Let's get you back up to Latham Joyner for the restart. Work it once again as Nick Boyd will elect to take the second spot from Wilson for now. I think Wilson was just patiently waiting to get to the bottom. He jumped down there in a hurry. Nick Boyd now looking to the inside of Latham Joyner's. Joyner finds the wall just a little bit. Nick Boyd not quite there just yet. Joyner finding the wall yet again, allowing the 5 of Boyd to pull up next to him. Joyner's in the wall again. We could have a new leader this time. They're nearly 3 wide. 51 of Wilson potentially looking to follow the 5 car through. Joyner's hanging on with everything he can here. This is the battle for the lead with 15 to go. Nick Boyd keeping it on the low side. He does clear the 3 of Joyner. He jumps up in front of him to get a good run in that entry. The 3 into the wall again. Nick Boyd has control. Jacob Wilson now is on the inside of the 3. The 3's going to have to figure out how to keep it off the wall. Oh, he had a really nice run-off exit. But I think the 5 of Nick Boyd had the lead when we went to caution. And, folks, this might be our biggest one of the night. Let's see what happened here. Jorge Ledesma Jr., Michael Weissman showing on the screen is having an incident. Jake Raven he pitted. So Raven goes by Ledesma Jr. Oh, and now looks like Jorge Ledesma Jr. just up into the 69. Weissman involved. Baum, I think, thought he was clear. And the 44 might have blinked. I don't know. That might be it for Nick Baum. Having himself a rough night here. Gotta believe that's not what he wanted, because he had a heck of a starting spot. He started third. But Jeremy Gill also involved. Shane Wielden, see, maybe he was involved. Not sure. Like I say, I get a lot of red on the screen. Not always accurate of who actually crashed. Let's take you to one last commercial break as we close in on 10 to go. We'll bring you the finish right here, Royalty Racing Network. We're going to go picture in picture one more time. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks. They're just getting ready to go back green, and the turquoise and white number 5 will lead the way with the turquoise and black 51 right on his tail, and the 3 of Latham Joyner on the outside. Back green for potentially the final time tonight. We'll have to see. 9 to go. The 5, really nice corner. The 3 finds the wall again. He did find some momentum there right before the caution, though. He can get a good run there if he can keep it out of the wall. 51 looking to follow through. He will. They're single file now. Top 7, 8, maybe top 10 even. Michael Weissman is on the inside of J.D. Van Kirk, and he finds him. All stacked up right here. 7, 8 cars back here for 10 through 16th. Looks like J.D. Van Kirk tried to have a good run there. Weissman holds him up, but he's in the wall again. Brock Morris. Oh, Christian Proctor down on the apron below. Brock Morris on the inside of the 2 of J.D. Van Kirk. Caution is out again. Looks like Jorge Ledesma Jr., possibly. 44's already missing a back bumper. It would appear on our screen anyway. Looks like there's the 70 of Canova. Yep, gets into the 44. 44 locks him up, taps the inside wall. Everyone else clears, it would appear. So, my statement was not accurate when I said it could be possibly the final caution of the evening. Under caution once again, Kenny. 10th caution here. I will say, though, not a lot of carnage per se, just a lot of one single car cautions, that type of thing. But cautions, I'll reassure you a little bit. There's been cautions from the front to the back. It's not all the back guys and that type of thing. And some of it, as we just saw, some of the guys that typically run in the front causing a caution, which by now we should be used to bulldozing when they get back. Or in the back, I should say. So, not a bad race here. Nick Boyd leads the way. Latham Joyner is going to start on that outside once more. Jacob Wilson up 12. Still your biggest mover. He's the only one that could even increase to be even more so besides Dan Ames and Robbie Minor. They're both up 10 as well. But Jacob Wilson up 12. He could finish the night by being up 14, and if he did, that would mean he's your winner, folks. We're going to keep it right here. It's going to be a green-white checkered. Green-white checkered is NASCAR's version of overtime. They'll go green one time. They'll pass the stripe for the white flag. If they take the white, it's official. The next time they cross is the checkered flag. So we'll see how it plays out as the pace truck pulls off for one more time. See if they can keep it clean to get to the white flag. Latham Joyner, much better jump there, but he finds the wall again. That 5 car stays low. Joyner in the wall trying to have a run. That 51 has a good run. Tries to keep it out of the 5 car. Battle for second is on. They will take the white flag, and this race will be official. Keep it right here as Joyner giving it everything he has on that outside. He's riding the wall. Joyner gonna throw it in there. Oh, and he completely takes out the 5. Latham Joyner gonna be gifted the win. Absolutely gifted. And they all pile in behind him. That's really unfortunate to see that kind of move there at the end. When, you'd like to think that some people are clean racers and then they just do something like that. Not only cost someone else the win, but cost themselves the win as well. So that's disappointing to see. Definitely not what we were hoping for there, and not what top tier racing is about either. But nonetheless, Latham Joyner wins again. And we'll get with your top 3. Nick Boyd had one absolutely stolen from him, folks. Raced everybody clean all night. Ends up finishing 5th, so nevertheless, good debut. Not the way we would have liked to see it end. Timothy Presley, though, brings in a top 3, and I'm sure he was excited to see the mayhem there at the end. Let's get with the 72/30 of Presley right now. Timothy, Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Right on, man. Well, you ran a really consistent race. Excuse me. Ran a really consistent race all night. You kind of just weathered the storm and avoided incident. Came back, ended up 5 on the night. And with the with the final lap carnage there around the final corner, you brought home a top 3. How's it feel, man?
Oh, man, it feels amazing. Honestly, I have no idea how I did it.
Well,
and at a track like this,
yeah.
I mean, this is the closest NASCAR track to my house, so it really means a lot for me there, too.
Right on,
honestly,
man. Home track.
Yeah, and this one really feels better than Daytona. It feels good to, come back, be a lap down, race my way back onto the lead lap, and finish second. played my cards right, I reckon. And next thing I know, I finished third. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, sometimes that's all it takes. Keep her clean, avoid the nonsense and the trouble, and then you never know where that's going to put you. You did a heck of a job tonight, and, you were there at the end when it mattered. You got help from people up in front. You avoided it, which was awesome, so congrats to you there. Now, you came into tonight sitting 12th, right on that danger zone of the cut line for the chase, and that comes up in a hurry in a short regular season like this one. Tell us what a third place finish does for you now to maybe ease the nerves a little bit and allow you to look forward to each race now on just being consistent instead of being right on that bubble.
I'm still feeling the pressure. I mean, I'm not going to be happy until I make the playoffs because there's still going to be that cut line. I could have one bad race, one DNF, and I could be below it. So I'm just going to push it as hard as I can. If I get a win in the next couple of weeks, then I can relax because I know I'll be locked into the playoffs. But until then, or unless I make it in on points, I'm just going to keep pushing as hard as I can.
Right on, man. Well, cool to see someone else get into the top three. Would have nearly been a completely different top three than we're used to, but some people just don't like to give it up and not win. So before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight?
Oh man, my coworker, Marshall, we call him Biggie Cheese. He was asking for a shout out the next time that I got a podium. So Marshall, this one is for you, buddy. And of course, can't thank my sponsors enough. MKM Racing Development, Jared Martin Racing, Postma Flooring, Black Rifle Coffee, just all the guys that made this possible. And a huge shout out to you up in the booth for putting this whole thing on.
Right on, man. You're going to love watching this one back, I promise. Not only because you finished third, but it was a heck of a race when we had some good green flag racing and some exciting moments. But, Timothy, we'll let you get back to celebrating this one and get you back to your team. Have a good rest of the evening, sir. We'll see you back out here next Tuesday.
Thank you so much. You have a good night, too.
You too. Once again, folks, that was your third place finisher. The 72 of Timothy Presley, being scored as the 72, had the 30 on the side of the car all night. Let's get with your second place finisher, the 51 of Jacob Wilson. Jacob, Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
I got you.
Jacob, you finished second place there on some questionable moves there on the final corner. Tell us what was going through your mind and what you were thinking there.
I'd been rolling the bottom pretty good all night. I felt like I was, pretty solid down there. I'd, made up a lot of positions. And I'm not in contention to win every week, so, or at least I haven't been this season, and so that was my chance. And so I hate that Nick got loose, after we hit doors, but I feel like I hit him pretty square. I didn't just go in there and like spin him out. So, the cars were really loose on the bottom and that slick, so you had to be careful, but I would have expected it to be done to me. And it has been done to me in the past. I've been on the other end of that, so I understand it. But that was my only chance. And with Latham up high like that, I had to get around him then if I was gonna have a chance. And we got together, and it is what it is. So I hate that. We'll see what comes of the finish. I think there's some questions about some stuff that happened there. So I don't know if anything will be reviewed. Well, I know it'll be reviewed post race, but I don't know if any changes will come to that. But overall, it was a good night. Hopefully the P2 will stand, or but we'll see.
All right, man. Yep, definitely an interesting take on your point of view there. But before we let you go with the second place finish, who would you like to thank or shout out this evening, Jacob?
Circle W Farms, the No Names, Floors by Dennis, Victory Fuel. And just all my guys over at Revved Up for all they do. We got a great group of guys, and I appreciate all of them. Thanks to all the league sponsors you guys put on the broadcast. Hopefully it was a pretty exciting race at least tonight. So.
Yeah, there were some exciting moments for sure. It was definitely, 10 cautions, and I can confidently say since I see all of them that it was guys at the front and guys at the back. So hopefully there wasn't a lot of blame being thrown around there in in the race chat. But anyway, congrats on your second place finish, sir. We'll see you back out here next Tuesday.
All right, thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Once again, folks, that was your second place finisher, the 51 of Jacob Wilson. And now let's get with your winner, Latham Joyner. Latham, Joshua up in the booth. Looked interesting. It was definitely not the way would have liked the finish to be, but you managed to squeak one out and steal one there at the end, despite maybe not having the fastest car. Tell us how you were feeling.
Yeah, honestly surprised. So after that wreck with Dylan for those last 25 laps, my toe was knocked out, so I had to hold the wheel pretty much to the left and change my entire driving style, as you can probably tell. I could not keep the car out of the wall. I mean, I hit it probably every green flag lap, and it was simply because I could not get it woed down in time and get it turned. It was so... If I had the wheel to the left, basically, it was going straight up the hill, and I was making contact with the wall. So there was no... Like, I could not keep it off the wall and actually stay somewhat competitive. That 5 car definitely deserved it. I'm not even going to lie to you. Obviously, he was fast on the bottom, which we hadn't seen work all night until those last 20 laps. He probably deserved it, and he would have beaten me back to the line for sure. Obviously, off of 4 there, lost momentum from the wall, got off of it, and he probably would have beat me if they didn't have that contact on the bottom. So really got straight up lucky on that one. Definitely did not have the speed there to pull one out like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, opportunity at a new winner and things like that, and still, it goes the way it goes, but we are where we are. So congrats on the win, sir. You are sitting comfortably in the chase standings to make a run at the championship this season. You made it through Bristol Dirt now. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Leeds Cuts by Josh Evans, Excalibur Racing Engines, Jacob Hefner Graphical Design. That's pretty much it. And tonight was really fun. If we was running green there, I think it was pretty much a pretty good show for you. We'll see what the panel decides. Obviously, I can't decide stuff on myself. I'm in there. But the results might change, and I'm perfectly okay with that. We came out there, get to talk to you. Obviously, that's great, and we pulled it out on the racetrack, and that's the most important thing. You always have a video of it.
For sure, man. And for now, sir, go enjoy this one and pop the champagne in Victory Lane, and we'll see you back out here next week.
Yes, sir.
Once again, folks, that was your winner, the 3 car of Latham Joyner. And let's bring up now the race results, potentially. Where are we here? Oh, not there. There we go. Let's go this way. We're going to go like that. And then we're going to bring them up. Latham Joyner gets the win. Jacob Wilson gets second place. Timothy Presley finishes in third. Fourth place is Davis Shively, and Drafty Beef pulls out a top 5. Christian Proctor finishes in 6th. Nick Boyd, Heartbreak Hotel on the final corner, finishes 7th in his debut. Brock Morris finishes 8th. Jarrett Martin finishes 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Shane Wielden. J.D. Van Kirk is in the 11th spot. Robbie Miner finishes 12th. Dan Ames brings home 13th. Jake Raven finishes in 14th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. finishes in 15th. Jim Thorndike in 16th. Dylan Canova never rebounded from his incident with Joyner and Weissman, and he finishes 17th. Weissman finishes 18th behind him. And finishing in 19th is Derek Catt. Marty White finished 20th. Nick Graffini finished 21st. Zach White finished 22nd. Patrick Gentner finished 23rd. Jeremy Gill finished 24th. And Nick Baum finished 25th. Rounding out your field was Rob Higgs Jr. in the 14, finishing 26th. Interesting finish for sure. Some exciting moments along the way also. But not a bad race overall, I would say. Let's take a brief second to thank our sponsors. First and foremost, the great folks at Trisha's Learning Center, devoting their lives to children since 1992 from 0 to 12 years old with daycare, after-school programs, and more. Thank you for being the title sponsor of Top Tier Racing Gen 6 Series, Trisha's Learning Center. Appreciate everything you guys all do. And Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel, whether you run a company, a government agency, a sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement with Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Comment for details or message me on Discord. And SM Racing Products. Take your sim racing experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more with SM Racing Products. Check them out now at sm-racingproducts.com. Use promo code ROYALTY at checkout for 20% off of your purchase of $150 or more. It's an amazing company, amazing products. Definitely recommend it. But for everyone here at Top Tier Racing, Trisha's Learning Center Gen 6 Series, and of course the Royalty Racing Network, I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight, interacting with me in the chat, and watching this very exciting race from Bristol Dirt. We'll be back here Saturday night with Nick Baum with the Noma Cup Series, and then I'll be back on Tuesday night, or I'm sorry, we're going to be back tomorrow night with the our very own Drafty Beef with the SCSRA Playoffs Round 2. That's going to be very exciting. And then Saturday with the Noma Cup Series, and then me once again back next Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed it all, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good evening. Good night.